Underground fans, welcome back here to our social media platforms. My name is Jim Amato, and at this time we're going to discuss the finals of the Area 1. Number one ranked fighter himself, the Rev Ron Hunt, and one cool cat, Justin Idol. We're going to talk about this matchup, what's at stake, and how these two are going to approach it. Rev, I'm going to go to you first. We saw you defeat Loss Prevention, Johnny Norris. He's a big man. A slight slip, and you were able to capitalize. Tell me about that matchup. How did you overcome such a big athletic man as Loss Prevention?
I mean, there's no secret to it. In this business, Jim, as you know, you've been in this business for a long time. It is a business of seconds. All it takes is 3 seconds. All it takes is a quarter of that second for a mistake to happen. And, you know, unfortunately, how the business is, you got to capitalize when you can. I didn't know it at that time, but at the end of the day, listen, these legs can go out at any time. These arms can go out at any time. We get hurt. So the fact that I can use that to my advantage, I'm honored about. Because at the end of the day, it's still a giant that's on the notch for the Rev. And here's how we get here to the finals, to see who is that person to take that crown for Area 1. That's why the Rev is sitting here. It's a game of seconds. And that's what the Rev did.
And speaking of taking advantage,
why do all your answers have to be so long-winded? Why can't you just answer the man's question? Nice and simple.
I didn't answer the question?
You answered the question, but everything you do is it's just so extra. It's so fake. That's what I've been saying for so long. I'm sorry.
He didn't.
No, just go ahead. Ask me your question. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Speaking of taking advantage, I thought he was long-winded. Speaking of taking advantage, you defeated Brohemoth, albeit through nefarious means. What's your explanation for this?
How dare you
Great question,
accuse
Jim.
me of nefarious things? What exactly are you saying? You seem like you're dancing around something. What are you saying?
I'm sitting right here, and I'm telling you, you had to hit the man low to beat him.
When a man is that big, you hit him anywhere you can.
Of course.
And you know what?
That's what she
I
said.
never claimed to be a nice guy, okay? I don't pander to the fans, okay? My job is to get the win in that ring, and that's what I did.
And how'd you do
I
it?
took advantage of an opportunity.
How?
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 You saw the match.
Yeah,
I'm sure
you
watched
dingled
it
his
tape.
dongle.
Oh, wow. Whoa! Whoa! How dare you? Don't ever use that word dongle around me. No, I did no such thing. I took advantage of a situation. I won the match, and here we are. The Rev versus Idol. The match everyone's been waiting to see.
You okay?
I'm good.
This man needs help, man.
I have a tough job sometimes, Rev. So I'm going to ask you, let's get right to it, because clearly this has spiraled out of control.
Please.
How are you going to approach Justin Idol? How are you going to keep things above board? What's your strategy going into this matchup?
I'd be lying to say I had an exact strategy besides the mentality to win. We talk about this every time. The mentality. You can play peekaboo all you want.
I'll peekaboo all.
At the end of the day, it's mentality. Here's what happens with guys like Justin. He sits in a little yellow room. He likes to and talk about what he's going to do. At the end of the day, honestly, I might have to check to see if his crazy papers, check him out to see if he's cleared to even wrestle. Because when it comes down to it, there's no way to prepare for a guy like Justin Idol. He's unorthodox. He thinks on another level beyond anybody else. So I go in with the mindset to win. I go in with the mindset to whatever moves he does, I try to think the extra 3 steps ahead and try to stay in a game of chess, not checkers. And that's where I'm at right now.
All right, Justin Idol, are you one flew over the cuckoo's nest? How's your strategy coming in to take on this man for the Area 1 final?
Well, I don't know how to play chess, Rev, so I think that right there is a shot below the belt. You guys are talking about taking the nefarious means and everything. He's taking shots at my IQ. How dare you? Oh man, okay.
It's chess. There's
I
ropes.
can't play chess. I play checkers. And that's... Wait, he said he would... You're confusing me! Stop confusing me! He's in my head. Get out of my head, Rev. You know what? Okay, calm down, Justin. Calm down. Everyone knows how I feel about the Rev. Everybody knows how I feel about you.
How do you feel about
You
me?
think you're just, everyone
Yeah.
thinks you're just a great guy.
Show
I
the-
know the real Rev.
Show the real Justin.
I know the real Rev.
Oh, what is that?
You preach about all these good things that you do and how you're going to go to heaven and all this stuff. But tomorrow night, I'm going to drag you to hell.
All right, things are getting a little too testy here. I need an aspirin, and I may be wishing to go to heaven if I have to sit between these two any longer. Area 1 Finals, right here, Fight Underground, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere you can find us on social media. Someone is going to be the Area 1 Finals winner. See you later.
Jim, you better get out of the way, buddy. Things are going to get nasty here. It's going to get nasty.
Nasty.
We can go.
Nasty.
We got to
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Let's go.
Well, hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And, you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. And you know where we can find that?
Yes,
On the Wrestling Mayhem.
that's right.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us. Check out IWC, RWA, and more. And listeners like you, support this show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Hungry as fuck, but I ain't starving yet. Chain for the pain, cocktail bar set. Never said I was a gangster or thug, but I'm an animal. Peanut for the taste of the floor.
Hey guys, it's the Indie Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter and the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. This is a show where we talk with people in and around independent professional wrestling. And of course, please go check out everything at Wrestling Mayhem Show and IndyWrestling.us. Wrestling Mayhem Show is where you can find all of the great pro wrestling podcasts that we're doing around here about indie wrestling and general wrestling as well. And we have a lot of fun with that. And we have a lot of great guests over across those shows. And of course, check out IndyWrestling.us where you can find today's guests and a lot of guests that we've talked to in the past in action over there on VOD or over at the Indie Wrestling Network. And also past episodes. A lot of great interviews with people, some you see on your TV today. After their first match sometimes. So a lot of fun there. And of course, today is going to be no different. We got somebody that I've been wanting to chat with for a while. McArthur has joined us on the line. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, old sports?
Fantastic. I have had so much fun producing behind the scenes of the Fight Underground live streams, and when Arthur McArthur comes on, I want to mess it up. I'm sorry. I know I'm in for a treat when it's going down.
Mm-hmm. Always try to bring a lasting impression every time I come on.
That's right. So we're going to get into it. We're going to get into what you've been up to, but I like to put a little icebreaker out there for people that maybe get to know you a little bit. What's your earliest memory of pro wrestling?
Earliest memory of pro wrestling, man. Well, that's okay. I guess my early, because I was born in '94.
Okay.
I was an Attitude Era baby, so I grew up with Stone Cold Steve Austin in the late '90s, and he was kind of my first hero in the business. I have all the figures, I had the posters. He was kind of the guy, you had the kids growing up with Hulk Hogan. Well, I grew up with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who would have thought? They got their Hulk Hogan teaching about their vitamins and their prayers. And I got a guy pounding 6-packs like it's nothing.
We did get I'm a Hogan guy myself growing up. And we did get kind of a different life lesson, didn't we?
We really did. And obviously after that, after Stone Cold left, Ruthless Aggression era, I appreciate it a lot more. I guess I was, I really don't know who I was a big fan of at that point. It's been a while.
That's great. So is this something that early on that you did you want to be the Stone Cold? Did you want to get into wrestling, or is that something that developed later throughout your watching?
Well, I guess it was always one of those boyhood dreams. You watch this on TV, you're like, man, I could be that someday.
Yeah.
And I never really thought that maybe that was just their thing, because before I got into wrestling, I actually enlisted. I'm an Army vet. I
Mm.
did that for 4 years. Spent time overseas. Had some great memories. Um, everyone's starting wrestling training when they're some people when they're 15. You have some stars out there in the Midwest who are 15 right now, killing it. Probably gonna sign a deal when they're 18. And right now, I'm 26 years old, and I started training when I was 24. So I kind of screwed the gap up a little bit, but I'm glad I got started either way.
Hmm. That's and we've talked with a lot of people, especially recently, that are vets as well. But I thank you for your service. But so does that kind of it seems with some people it either fills the gap from leaving the service of kind of the mindset, things to do, or in some case that regimen seems to prepare you. Did it do one or the other for you as you kind of entered into this?
Well, what's one way to think about it? Well, I guess the discipline of getting places early. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I mean, the military. I guess I just met a lot of people and
Hmm.
a lot of world experience. Had to learn to become a man really quick. Really
Hmm.
didn't have. I mean, I obviously worked, but I didn't really have a set career
Yeah.
until I was 18, 19 years old, and I really had to learn to grow up really fast. And being through all that, I was physically challenged throughout most of the time. All the push every morning, 6 a.m. Push-ups, go on a long run. I haven't ran a day since I left the military service. I mean, it is what it is.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think overall the discipline of all that kind of got me in the mindset of how to prepare for wrestling. Because if I had joined wrestling school with the mindset I had before the military, might not even be here talking to you today.
Hmm.
So,
That's great. So how did you discover your wrestling school?
so for those who don't know, I started at the Absolute Intense Wrestling Academy, trained by Dominic Durini and of course Derek Direction. Some of you Pittsburgh people love him. He's the greatest of all time in the area. But no,
I've heard that. I've
um,
heard that mostly from him. Yeah.
mostly from me too.
Yes.
But no, I discovered it through through this mutual friend of mine. Um, my sister actually had this now referee who was at AIW. They were friends on Facebook, and I saw him sharing this stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that looks fun." AIW. I'm not really big into indie wrestling. I love me some WWE, and that's it. I didn't know much about the indie wrestling world until I really discovered AIW, and I saw they had a school going, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is my window. Maybe it's something to give a shot. I don't want to live my life, you know, not giving it a shot. And that's essentially where people share the stuff. There's schools. People are gonna find it eventually. So keep doing that.
Yeah. You never know about that. And it is interesting. So you were like a WWE F fan, I guess, for so many years, and you said
Oh,
you
for
you
sure.
knew you had never even kind of gone into that. You never discovered indie wrestling.
Well, I mean, I knew it existed. I knew of guys like, Brian Danielson before he
Right.
made it big as Daniel Bryan, stuff like that. But I never really appreciated, what happened in the indie world. Like I knew nothing about Chikara, CZW, nothing like that.
Hmm.
Old ROH or hell, even old Mid South. Um, didn't even really know much about AIW until I got into the school.
That's great. What kind of most surprised you when you get in there as you're kind of learning about indie wrestling and learning about the wrestling business in general?
Well, man, I guess the one thing that really shocked me was, with WWE, they have a set way of doing matches. It's obviously for TV.
Yeah.
Matches are much shorter. They have a different storyline. They wrestle every week essentially. Sometimes twice a week. And with indie wrestling, you're kind of making matches. You make them mean a little more. You know what I'm saying? There's some with independent wrestling makes matches mean a little bit more, if that makes sense, because you don't get to do it as much.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess there's just a lot more on the indie scene that's more available. Like, obviously some moves are banned in WWE. A lot of move sets are limited, and that's not a problem. But there's a lot more you get to see, outside of the WWE bubble, and a lot of talent that you would never get to see.
Absolutely. So kind of going through that, like Arthur McArthur is a character that, a persona that kind of sticks out on the wrestling show. I've seen you, of course, here at Uprise, of course, up there at AIW, UXWA, when we're filming a couple of shows for them. It always seems to stick out. Tell me, how did that kind of develop, and just actually describe it a little bit of what it is for those that maybe haven't checked it out yet.
Okay, so for those who don't know, so Arthur McArthur is essentially, it's just, there's a lot to unpack, but basically think of a carny 1920 style circus strongman character. He's been through a lot. Okay, we have a lot of theories of how he came about. I don't really have the official canon for you yet of how he's existing in modern era. I have something in mind, but I'm not sure if I want to release it yet. But long story short, he is a World War I veteran turned circus strongman turned professional wrestler, and has a special dumbbell that only he can pick up right now. That's a relatively new part of the character, and I think it's really added more to it, like a Thor's hammer type deal.
Fantastic.
And so, anyways, the way the character came about, it's kind of funny actually. So I was coming up with all these ideas of what I wanted to do in wrestling. I used to wrestle in high school, so I had a little bit of a mat background. Wasn't really amazing at it, but I kind of thought maybe I'd do something like that. I was thinking I could be like a Kurt Angle type deal. Well, that was a mistake. And then one day, I'm just messing around, and here comes our promoter, John Thorne. He walks in. He's like, "That's a circus strongman right there. The way he's walking." And that just kind of planted the seed in everyone's mind, like, "Hey, we have a great gimmick for you. We think if you walk around like a circus strongman in all this wacky stuff and act like a character and do all this powerlifting stuff, it might be something." And at first, I'm just taken aback, and I don't know how to react to this. Like, who in their right mind? And I wanted to do like some crazy moves. I wanted to jump off the ropes, do all this stuff, and then sometimes I still have to learn this lesson. But basically, it didn't matter. The character stuff really is what got me out there. And I think that like all the mannerisms, the speeches, the promos, all the moments in matches is what really sets me apart, from what I wanted to be originally. And I really think it's helped me connect with a lot of fans out there.
That's great. So I again, watching, like, when I see like kind of a super character kind of thing, like I think like a Magnum CK, that's somebody that had an acting, theater background going into it. Like, did you have that kind of background going into this, or did this all kind of develop on its own?
No, I never did drama club. I was a footballer, played wrestler, did wrestling, did track and field for a season. I was an athlete in high school, essentially.
Because these promos that we see, or even when we do them live, obviously we're doing these live streams for Fight Underground. They're off the cuff. They're like, I don't know how you keep character.
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. So I won't lie. I've had to. The voice, the way I come up with it is just I watched a lot of like. You watch that skit from Family Guy with the steak and eggs? They're like doing the squats and stuff. I kind of mimicked that voice style. And just find the most goofiest, outlandish words. And it takes time. Sometimes I gotta be by myself and just rant about certain things and just let it naturally become a thing. And maybe watching like old movies and stuff like that. I watched a lot of movies from back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So obviously you're talking about it's kind of getting you out there. I've seen you multiple places that you've been around. I mean, we were talking about before, and like I thought you've been around for a few years at this point. It seems like
a lot of people. It's funny because some people are like, "Oh, how long? So how long you been? Like 5-6 years?" I'm like, I've only been in for like a year, man. Like, oh wow, like. Yeah, they really think I've been around. It just feels like it's been that long, but
yeah,
I'm still very young in this business, dude.
Have you any, obviously, a lot of crazy stuff happened with like things like AAW and or AIW. I did it again.
It happens, man. I do it too.
That's really bad on the other show. AIW gets a lot of free plugs on the Mayhem show, I tell you. But anyways, but any opportunities, any cool moments over your first year and a half of doing this so far?
So there actually was a cool moment. At this relatively smaller promotion, a little down south, called XVW. Me and some of the guys you might know, Zach Thomas, Chuck Stone, Bitcoin Boys. We like to go down there every once in a while. Really get those reps in. Nice group of guys down there, smaller, folk style. And there was an opportunity one time. They were bringing in Tracy Smothers, and obviously right now he's going through a lot. Did my thing go out? No. Okay, we're good. He's going through a lot right now with his cancer treatments and everything. So they were doing this show to kind of benefit him. And I don't know if this is true or not, but that may have been the last match he's had so far. But yeah, they gave us a chance to wrestle with him. So it was me, my partner Chuck Stone, Bulking season, with Zach Thomas versus Tracy Smothers and these two local guys from the Franklin area. I forget Daniel Archer. I forget the other guy's name. But yeah, we got to work them, and that was a great experience. And then normally with a lot of guys in this business that that will call our matches beforehand. Hey, we're gonna do this, that. I don't want to expose the business out there like that. But long story short, Tracy Smothers just comes up to me. He's like, just listen to me out there. I'll tell you what to do. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to mess things up, especially with the way things are going. And I'm in the back of the corner. He's like, tell him I pulled your hair. I'm like, what? He's like, just go ahead and do it. I'm like, okay. And just funny things like that. Tracy is a great guy. I'm hoping the best for him. He's one of my favorites out there. Really appreciate his promo works as well. His video of all his promos he did for Cleveland All Pro back in the day are amazing.
He's definitely one of the classics. So readjusting here. Excellent. Oh, so how is I've been having these kind of interviews for the social media for IndyWrestling.us about kind of how COVID has dealt with them. What did it kind of do for you? Obviously, the shows go away. I don't know if anything was big on the horizon for you coming up in March, but like, what was the point where it kind of hit you that like something was different and wrestling was going to change?
Wow. Well, things really did take a toll. So our last AIW show was in February. We had a good show. It was me, Chuck, with PME, in a big 8-man tag, and that was like one of the first big moments we had in a while in AIW. Had a big burger shower. We threw burgers in the crowd after we won. I'm like, all right, finally, we're getting somewhere. We have another show coming up, Gauntlet for Gold, and it's done.
Yeah,
it got shut down. I was going to be at this seminar, Evolve tryout, before Evolve ended up getting shut down. WWN. I was going to be part of that. At least that trial portion with Tommaso Ciampa. Really wanted that hands-on experience with him. Worked a lot for this promotion and Grindhouse, and that was a lot of good reps over there. And they've ceased operations altogether right now. They're kind of rebuilding. But yeah, there was like a 3-month window of just doing nothing, and it really bummed me out, man. And for those of you who don't know, Ohio, for the most part, is still shut down as far as wrestling goes. Like, I have wrestled a show in Ohio, but it was very, small, 50 people at most, outdoors. There's like a small capacity you can do. Hope this lighting's okay. I had to charge my phone up. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, AIW is not going to run for a while, it seems. Maybe not until next year. I'm not going to speak on that, but we don't know. But yeah, so I had that 3-month window, and obviously gyms were closed down here. I'm the strongest man in all the land. I need to stay in shape. I need to at least have some sort of strength. This home workout stuff, it wasn't for me. I couldn't do it. I understand you got to do something, but man. So yeah, then out of the blue, here comes Fight Underground, and I'm wondering how they're gonna do this, And it turns out, because I had messaged Quinn about it a while ago, And he was like, "Hey, I know you messaged me months ago, but we're trying to do this thing now with Fight Underground. You interested in coming down?" Like, yeah. How's this gonna work? We're living in a quarantine pandemic right now. And then that's really where it struck me with things were different because no fans whatsoever. I've wrestled in front of like a small crowd of under 10, but wrestling in front of no fans, okay, well, they were wrestlers around the ring, but those aren't. That was, people are cheering just to get that thing going. These aren't natural emotional reactions from the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, you just had to learn how to work without the crowd getting behind you.
And that was a great match with Flex Simmons of the ROH Dojo, of course. So it was a great, and that was, I think, the second one that we had for Fight Underground that went out there to the crowd. So it was early on in that development, at least in showing it to the people. So
right.
So
and
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say during that match, I realized I have to like do some more cardio because after that 4 minutes, I'm like, phew, I was not ready for this. Without being in the ring for training or nothing like that, I really hadn't really done my rolls or hit the ropes and nothing like that. I really had to get back in there, and thank God we finally opened the school back up to get training again, and we got all these events happening again, thankfully.
Yeah, I often say it looks like Indiana is the savior of Midwest professional wrestling right now.
That and the state of Michigan.
Yes. I know there's still a little bit happening up there. I know we have West Virginia happening a little bit here and there. I don't know. It's hit and miss. I've had shows canceled I was supposed to be part of, and it's weird. It's weird. And of course, here in Pennsylvania, it's not every company can run kind of thing. So it's kind of interesting. But at least there's a lot of opportunities happening out there. Of course, I see AIW's getting out in Indiana and having shows again. So that's awesome. Awesome to see.
For sure.
I like to close on a fun little question. You've only got a year and a half into this, and of course, half of that has been a pandemic, unfortunately.
It is what it is.
What's the best and worst thing about indie wrestling for you?
Oh, wow. Well, I guess we'll start with the bad and then a high note, huh? The worst thing about indie wrestling for me is the traveling, man. The driving. I think I will say if I can go to all my shows within a 2-hour radius, that would be amazing. But reality is if you want to, get out there and make a name for yourself and really get the experience, you got to hit the roads and you got to travel. As much as it sucks, it's one of the I hate driving. I hate going. I think the most I've ever gone so far is about 8.5. And that was for Chattanooga, Tennessee. And oh my God, that is a rough drive. Thankfully, we got people in the car that could switch out every few hours. But they're the ones who make it the best. On a high note, the best thing about indie wrestling is, I guess, it's just living out my dreams, man. Really going out there and doing what I love the most.
Awesome. Well, Arthur, where can people find you online, and where can they find you promotion-wise?
Okay, well, if you want to find me online on social media, I have a Facebook page. Trying to add my real name. So please like the Arthur McArthur page. It's just Arthur McArthur. You might find other Arthur McArthurs. I'm not the only one out there in existence, but I'm sure maybe you'll recognize my face. I'm the guy flexing or with the glasses. Or you can go on Twitter, and I'm Strong McArthur. Arthur McArthur's handle was taken. You'd think I'd have that, but no. Yeah, Strong McArthur. Instagram, I believe that's Arthur 2_ McArthur, or is it Strong? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, there's that. As far as promotions go, obviously, home base is Absolute Intense Wrestling. When that's up and running, you'll see me there. A lot of Ohio promotions. As of right now, you'll find me mostly in Horror Slam in Michigan. Currently tag team champion over there with Chuck Stone. Indiana, you'll be seeing me a lot in EWE, Epic Wrestling Entertainment. And, of course, for the Pittsburgh folks here, you'll be seeing me on Fight Underground. And that's about it for right now, man. You'll be seeing me out there more, though, for sure.
Awesome, for sure. And you can see, of course, the Fight Underground matches on this Fight Underground social media. You'll be part of the upcoming tapings as well. I don't think we have an opponent announced for you just yet. Oh, no, you're part of the tournament, aren't you?
I am. The day one with the Rev.
The Rev Ron Hunt to determine who is the best out of Area 1. Looking at that bit, we're having a million tournament to roll that out. To settle that, you can look for that in the upcoming weeks over on that social media, of course. Thank you, Arthur, for joining us. It's always been a blast. Man, every time this guy's on one of the things, like half the people on the panel are just like, shit, this guy's great.
All right, man. That's what I like to hear. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for working with me. For sure.
No, I appreciate it. Always fun when I see you're on the run sheet. Guys, go check them out. Again, you can check them out there. You can check them out on several different things. Just search for them over at IndyWrestling.us. You can see them on all those platforms as well. And, of course, check out our friends at AIW and Horror Slam and all those things as well. Until next time, please support Indie Wrestling.
You know how I act now. If you got a problem, come and see if I'm a back down. Act wild. Steady sipping Jack now.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
To the middle. Okay, I want no little blows, no fish hooks, no pulling the ears, no pulling the head. Alright? Fist up, throw down.
You got this. You waited 8 years for this. This is your redemption story. Everyone that laughed at you, everyone that made fun of you, everyone that said you don't belong here, show them why you belong in Fight Underground.
And look out here. Here we are, Paul, back here in the Fight Underground. My name's Jim Amato. You're Paul Atlas. And Reznikk, who has spent a decade away from Pittsburgh, is back here with a purpose, motivated by Dash Bennett.
Yeah, Dash Bennett with that pep talk. And let's face it, every member of the Fight Council has given neither one of these guys a chance. They feel neither one of them belong here, so both of them got something to prove.
Yeah, Vance Strader, an upstart that has faced rightfully a lot of criticism how he started his career, and he may see it come to a short end here at the hands of Reznikk, because this guy is a real roughneck, no finesse, all impact for Reznikk.
And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you both these members, one being Vance Strader, a member of Team Hunter, Reznikk, a member of Team Dash Bennett. Stacy Hunter was Dash Bennett's longtime manager, so this is probably going to get a little personal.
And man, you can see Reznikk just trying to rough up Vance Strader.
Yeah, straight up out of the gate, jumping Vance Strader, and he has not let up one bit since the start of this match.
And for Vance Strader, a man just starting his career, if you're Reznikk, if you drop a match to someone like Vance Strader, your comeback story is over before it ever gets started.
Oh, exactly.
Strader saves his life and avoids the contact.
Now, let's face it, Vance Strader demanded of me in Area 1 an invitation to Fight Underground in general, which I gave him, and he has not yet proven himself.
Duck from Strader. And man, he got the big man off his feet. We have some progress.
Well, big cross body, but he was not able to take advantage of it by hooking the leg and covering. He went right over top of him.
Look out. And Reznikk shut that down quick. He just powered, sheer brute force. Reznikk just powering Vance Strader around.
Yeah, that was an extremely short comeback by Vance Strader. Look out here now, ripcord. Oh, big elbow right to the side of the head. And there's that big lariat maneuver.
His head ricocheting off the canvas. Forget about it.
That's it. Sean Reznikk, your winner here tonight.
Reznikk is one mean, nasty, determined, motivated individual.
You're ready for Brohemoth, aren't you? You're ready for Brohemoth. You're going to tear him apart.
And you heard it from Dash. I believe that is a clear message sent to the big man, Brohemoth.
Your fighter Sean Reznikk starting off here at Fight Underground strong with a 1-0 victory here today. What's your thoughts on this matchup?
My thoughts are Sean Reznikk did exactly what I wanted him to do. He was ridiculed. He was mocked. He was treated as if he didn't belong in Fight Underground, and I think that showed everyone exactly that he belongs. He belongs in Fight Underground. He belongs to be going to toe-to-toe with Brohemoth. And Brohemoth, you better not sell Sean Reznikk short, because he's going to surprise the hell out of you, and he's going to give you the fight of your life.
Sean Reznikk showing a strong output here today at Fight Underground. Congratulations on your win, Sean. Vance Strader, you showed a lot of heart, a lot of determination here today. Unfortunately, you came up short, and now you're 0-2 here at Fight Underground. What's next for you?
What's next for me is that I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm 0-2, okay, I know. But at the end of the day, no matter who they throw in front of me, I'm going to continue to fight. I'm going to prove to the Fight Council that I belong here and Fight Underground. No matter what, I'm not going anywhere.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Yes. And you know where we can find that?
Yes.
On the Wrestling Mayhem.
That's right.
Gentlemen in the center. All right, nice clean fight. No low blows, no gear pulling, no fish hooking. It's for the finals of Area 1. Fist up, throw down.
And here we are back in the underground. My name is Jim LaMotta, being joined by Pittsburgh legend Paul Atlas. And Paul,
That's what they're saying, huh? Yeah. I guess you heard the Rev's reaction to that. Justin Idol claiming he goes right down the middle.
He's fake. He's not who you think he is. Tell him, Paul. Tell him.
Hey, I've been waiting to see. I've been waiting to see.
well, here we go, Paul, as things continue to advance forward here.
Hello, Rev.
And
Why
the
would I look
Rev
out behind you?
blindsided. Unfortunately, the Rev, with a very rare mental mistake, left himself open and got absolutely blindsided by Justin Idol, who is going to work. Idol wants to get out of here quick.
Yeah, that's a major mistake when you're facing a guy like Justin Idol. This guy with over 20-plus years of experience. He knows all the tricks in the book, and he caught the Rev napping on that one.
Look at the poster child. Here.
Last time we saw Justin Idol in the underground, he put down Zeke Mercer, but the Rev is a completely different equation. The Rev, a 10-year pro in his own right.
Yeah, but right now, that extra experience of Justin Idol is playing in the factor as he got off to a jump start on this match, and the Rev is yet to get out of the gate.
Shoulders down here.
Could be a quick one.
And I believe it was just a matter of geography as the Rev reached out to the ropes.
Yeah, Justin Idol making one very rare mental mistake and not watching his ring positioning. You know, over the last several weeks, demanding his position be better in Fight Underground in our council meetings. Justin Idol now here is trying to win Area 1 so he could lay claim to that.
And one of the Rev's most vocal supporters, Fight Council member and longtime veteran Bad Bubba Brewer, is in attendance here, but the Rev is being completely taken apart here. Hasn't had a chance to even get out of the blocks.
Yeah, let's face it, right now the Rev is not looking like the #1 draft pick he is. You know, I've stated it after the match with loss prevention. Perhaps his first 2 wins were lucky at best in A.J. Alexander's mistake and the injury to loss prevention in the semifinals.
Right now, the Rev is going to find his back against the wall. It's going to be feast or famine, baptism by fire, no pun intended for the Rev. But man, he got cut off again before he can get out of the blocks.
Desperation elbow by the Rev to try and get back, to try and get on track in this match, let alone back on track.
The Rev may never get out of the starting blocks. He may never be able to build that momentum. And if that happens, it could be a very short night for Ron Hunt. Justin Idol could use the hype around the Rev to cement himself here in the Fight Underground, because with everything that Justin Idol has accomplished, Fight Underground is a new chapter. Idol charging in, got caught overzealous, ran right into the boot.
Let's see if the Rev can take advantage of a big bicycle kick.
Pinpoint precision by Ron Hunt right there.
Yeah, but does he have enough left in the tank after the beating he's taken so far to crawl over and make that cover? Justin Idol flat on his back, but the Rev cannot capitalize.
This is going to be a measure of tenacity for Ron Hunt.
These guys cannot get counted out. There has to be a winner to this match. We'll be here all damn night if we have to.
Ron Hunt talks a big game, and we're going to see if he can live up to it, because he is facing some adversity here for the first time in his Fight Underground career.
And look at the Rev's eyes. They're glassed over. I don't know if he even realizes he's in a fight right now.
You're a bitch. And the animosity is elevating here, Paul. These two do not like each other.
No, not at all. And the fact that Justin Idol is on our fight council and an active competitor, this man thinks he is owed everything on a silver plate.
Man, we heard that shot. That was a right hand right to the point of the jaw.
But again, look at the Rev. I don't even know if he realizes where he's at right now. Look at those eyes. They're almost rolling back in his head. They're completely glassed over.
Hunt may be fighting on autopilot. Idol going to try to press forward here. The Rev using anything he can to try to gain his bearings. Idol avoids the contact.
Look out.
Man.
I don't think he caught all of it, but that kick to the head was definitely on target. This cat has to be it.
Rev is still seeing starts. Referee George Ross may want to check on the Rev.
Yeah, he may be completely concussed here. We may have to worry about the Rev's health and safety in this match.
And Idol's calling for the end of it here. He's a veteran with a killer instinct, no doubt about it.
And let's face it, that jump start gave him the advantage right out of the gate, and he really has not let go of that advantage.
Rev back up, but again, he may not realize what's coming here.
Rev
Idol goes
blocking
for a
it.
catatonic. Has him in the center here, but that slight adjustment may allow Ron Hunt to get back into this thing. Ripcord, kick right to the face.
He's got him up.
Nailed it. Unbelievable. Can the Rev pull this one out? No, Idol survives.
Two count. And look at Bubba Brewer at ringside. He's going absolutely nuts.
Well, a lot of Bubba Brewer's reputation on the Fight Council is based on his praise for Ron Hunt.
That's it. He has put all his eggs in the basket that is Ron Hunt. He's got to come up with a win tonight, or Bubba Brewer will never live it down this Thursday on the council meeting.
From Shane Taylor Promotions to Fight Underground, we could be seeing the Rev taking a huge step in his career.
Got it set. Idol blocks it.
Counter and gouging, fish hooking the eyes. Now that is ridiculous.
Wait a minute, what's Idol doing here? What is he doing here?
That's a box cutter.
What is he doing? He's cutting away the turnbuckle here.
Wait a minute, this is completely...
He's got a weapon in his hand.
Now George Ross trying to make sure
Trying to check what's going on here.
Justin
Idol, he went for that low blow, the low blow that helped him in his match against Behemoth. But the Rev obviously scouted it, and he has blocked it.
The Rev's been watching on Facebook. He knows Idol's MO.
Those big elbows to the side of Idol's head. He's got him locked in. Oh, Idol at the back door.
And Rev escapes. What a back and forth contest.
Wow,
Big
monster
different
clothesline.
collision.
Monster clothesline by Justin Idol.
Idol got the better of that, but can he press forward?
Yeah, the man who calls himself one cool cat is definitely colder than the other side of the pillow right now.
He may be feeling the heat from the Rev Ron Hunt, Paul.
Rev trying to get to his feet here. Look out. Oh! Rev inadvertently hitting those ropes, and Justin Idol just crotched himself on that top rope.
You know what they say about karma, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
And it may be coming back to bite the cool cat.
What is Rev going for here?
Oh, man. This is high risk, but Rev knows he's on borrowed time. He's been
That's
on borrowed
right.
time.
We're in a warehouse, so that's solid concrete below them.
Oh, man.
Rev is trying to hook him up.
Oh,
He nailed it.
God!
He nailed it from the top rope.
Good night.
And that is it. Rev Ron Hunt is the winner of Area 1 with this victory over one cool cat, Justin Idol.
If a cat has 9 wives, I believe the Rev just trimmed one off of Justin Idol because, man.
Rev Ron Hunt, 3-0, and the official winner of Area 1. What are your feelings going through your head right now?
Listen, did you not see that? You not see that? We got a dead body in the ring. We got a dead body in the ring. Listen, man, the Rev is 3-0. I said since day one, and it's a prophecy that's completed. I'm the top dog for Area 1. I'm top of the food chain for the alpha male. Man, we did it. I heard if you kiss a redhead, it's lucky. We did it, man. So listen, I don't care what's coming. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna get my brain back into it, and I'm gonna see who's gonna be some of these top guns here at Area 2, and then see who lines up from there and what the council throws my way. Until then, I'm gonna get some cheese. I'm gonna get some fine wine. No, Jesus turned water into wine. I'm gonna get some wine. We're gonna have a good time. Terramana tequila too from the Rock.
Congratulations, Rev Ron Hunt, on being the official winner of Area 1. Justin, as you make your way to me,
My mouth is so dry.
you pulled out everything out of your hat tonight, even resorted to dirty tactics, some might say.
I was cheated. You all saw it. He hit me a little bit of low blow. Oh, my dingle. Oh, God. Oh, I didn't know what that was. I thought it was Ron. What's the question?
You pulled.
I was cheated. That's the answer. Oh, where's Brandon? Brandon, where's my coach? I don't need a coach. Where is he? My dingle. Oh, God, get the cameras out of my face. Oh, so many cameras. No, I was cheated. Ah!
With Sean Reznikk and Dash Bennett, we are joined by council members Dean Radford, Sniper, and RPW. Dean Radford, would you like to start off the questions?
I would. So, do you feel like you were tested against him?
Vance Strader wasn't meant to be a test.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Reznikk.
You're going to hear from me.
No, I want to hear from
Vance
Reznikk.
Strader wasn't meant to be a
Dash,
test.
There's no talking. Dash. No. This isn't the Dash show. This is Reznikk talking for himself. Let him be a big boy. Take his diaper
Go
off.
ahead.
And pay attention.
Vance Strader was not meant to be a test. Vance Strader was meant to be a victim. Vance Strader was a victim, and he was thrown to the wolves tonight in Sean Reznikk.
And you're just proving why he's never going to make it past Bohemians.
That's what you think.
Sniper, do you have the next question?
Oh, you feel real cocky there, Dash, with Sean Reznikk. So, how do you going to feel and see if he can get past Bohemian?
I think that your showing against Vance Strader just proved that you're ready to fight anyone. That you will fight anyone. You will punch, kick, scratch, claw your way to victory. And Brohemoth is in for a fight. Whether he wants to believe it, whether Dean Radford wants to believe it, he is in for a GD fight. Next question.
RPW, the floor is yours.
Reznikk, you and I are no strangers. We've faced each other many times, had some hellacious wars. You are not the same person you were multiple years ago. What have you been doing to bring out this new you?
You know what? I'm going to give you this one.
Yeah, I got to do that one. What have I been doing? I've been beating people up, man. That's what I've been doing. I've done nothing but, break faces, break necks, break legs, break arms. I've done it all. I've beaten the crap out of just about anybody in the tri-state area. That's what I do. I mean, ask Dean, he knows.
Sure don't, bud.
Sean, Dash, any final thoughts?
Bottom line, Dean Radford wrote a check that in the end he's not going to be able to cash when he set up Sean Reznikk and Brohemoth for Area 2. Sean Reznikk is going to bankrupt Brohemoth.
In tonight's Aftermath with Vance Strader, we are joined by council members RPW, Stacy Hunter, and Fight Director Paul Atlas. RPW, would you like to start?
Impressive showing. I think the council is starting to kind of take notice. Where do you go from here?
Where I go from here is to continue to train, get better, work harder, and take any fight that's thrown at me.
Paul Atlas?
Well, you might be impressing some of the council members. However, in Area 1, you came to me demanding the invitation. I gave you the invitation, and so far you've proven nothing because you've continuously lost. Now, I don't want to hear this cliched bullshit about I'm going to train and say my prayers and take my vitamins. Let's get serious, kid. You got one foot out the door. What are you going to do to not? Don't worry about impressing them. What are you going to do to impress me? Because you were the one that knocked down my office door demanding a chance.
You're right, I did. And you delivered, I didn't deliver, but from here on out, I will deliver. It's just that simple. I'm going to continue to fight. No matter how many times I get knocked back down, I'm going to get back up.
Stacy?
So, as your coach, I drafted you because I saw something in you, even though you lost at Area 1. You lost again here at Area 2. So, my question is, why should I not think about starting to trade you?
It'll be your loss. You can trade me if you want, but it'll be your loss, and you'll see.
Vance, do you have anything to add?
I'm going to continue to fight and fight. I'm going to prove to you, Stacy, and you too, Mr. Atlas, that yeah, I got one foot out the door, but I'm going to bring that motherfucker right back in.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.